back and forth 3 cent range. I'm going to be sitting there staring at this crap now. Hey everybody, how are you? I'm back on YouTube with another hindsight video. Yeah, see, it rhymes with VWAP and it's called recap. Recap VWAP. So what I do and what I have been doing for quite some time before making YouTube videos was I trade, right? I did very well. Late 90s, everybody did well. I was always a shorter, so I did well when the market crashed. And then more or less just churned my account like a schmuck for a couple of years, like everybody did. Then, oh, by the way, I'm loaded up on Kodak right now. If anyone's interested, KODK. Been buying right here as it's between $4.93 and $5. So when I do these videos on YouTube, they're usually after the fact, because what I do now is I trade live in front of 200, 300 people a day. And that's what we do. So then I come on YouTube and I talk about what we did. So if that's insulting to you somehow, I have the greatest business model in the history of finance. Free. You want to see the charts of my dumb face, right? So would I. Come to the website. Come to the website, see the charts, see the reason that we do our trades, understand why we were short the Qs and CrowdStrike, and why the day is pretty much in hand at 10:43. And that's when I come on. I'm goofing around with some Kodak right now just because this thing sprung to life a couple of days ago. And I was looking to see if it broke back over 5 today. It doesn't look good. Small loss probably going to be here. Unless it breaks back over 5, obviously. But the whole idea of the recap is for you to have that moment and say, huh, that looks interesting. I'd like to learn more. How do I do that? Oh, this guy has a website where he does this live. Oh, maybe I should go check it out. Maybe I should. Instead of being the guy that says, oh, this guy only talks about the trades after the fact. That's kind of what a recap is. Recap. So again, the reason I say this is the most flawless, most wonderful, and again, I don't use that word lightly, wonderful business model. If you come to the website and see the charts and hear the commentary from 8:15 in the morning for the first 2 or 3 hours, and you see how the trades work or don't work, you understand that it's always the same trade. We're always looking at very specific setups, VWAP trading around stocks that are in the news. And you understand and you start to see how that trade works and you'd like to learn more. And that's just day one. I'll give you 2 weeks to see what I'm all about. You get 2 weeks. That's basically 7 or 8 hours a day of not just me, but I have a friend that's pretty freaking awesome at this also. He comes on and does commentary and he teaches you even more stuff. So it's basically an 8-hour seminar every day whilst we're trading and finding the ideas and carefully explaining why we're getting in, where we're getting out, why we're getting in, and why we're getting out if it doesn't work. And as we do this, you're either saying to yourself, oh, wow, I would like to learn more. I could join up for a month or a quarter. And then maybe 6 days go by and you say, shit, I just did a couple of trades that this guy just told me to do. And I just made $2,000. And then you could take that $2,000 and say, you know what? I'll take 1,000 of that. And I'll say, you know what? The guy just made me $2,000 on this trade. Here's $1,000, Kenny. Show me more. That $1,000 gets you almost 3 or 4 months of more of my time. And some people use it and say, hey, wow, that was awesome. And they want to be with me for the rest of their lives, even though we don't do lifetime memberships. But you can get close because it's been 30 years. Chances are, unless I spontaneously combust one day, and I hope it's on film, if my head explodes, I'm sorry, your membership is over. But then again, you could still hang out. The website will still be up after I'm dead. So somebody will pick up the mantle, hopefully my son, or maybe one of the members will take over, or maybe Solid will take over, or whatever the case. But will somebody get this Kodak over $5 is really what I care about right now. So let's get this fucker going. Come on. And that's it. That's my life. That's my life. I never leave my house during the week generally. I have relatively no friends. And I love this shit. And when I see what the market did yesterday and I come on and I make a video, I don't, again, I used to get angry at the skepticism and the vitriol. The vitriol still gets me a little bit. I'm like, why are you so angry at me? Like, what are you so mad at me for? I'm telling you that this is a recap video. Come to the website. And you get 2, maybe 3 weeks to hang with me. And it's a proving ground for all of us. You get to see whether or not this is something that gels with you. Because sometimes, even though these trades are working and I'm pretty good at what I do and articulating where to get in and get out, if you can't spend an hour and a half with me every morning, you miss the majority of what's going on. I get it. It's not for everybody. But there is something big coming. What I'm going to do finally, and I've been talking about this for years, I'm going to have an app, right? So when I put the trade on, we're going to quickly film it. I'm like, all right, we're shorting the cues right here. Our stop is this price. We're looking for it to get here. Bang, we're going to clip it and beam it right to you. So you're not just going to get a Kenny's doing this. I'm going to give you a little brief 30-second description with the chart what I'm doing. So if you're sitting on your ass at home, you don't want to be in the chat room, you'll get that. And then with the app, if I'm getting out of the trade, they won't be, hey, when's he going to get out of this trade? Oh, he just got out. All right, cool. So that's it. Yeah, exactly. I've been saying the same bullshit for the last 5 years. Exactly. So have you come to the chat room yet? That's what I'm saying. Look at my face. You shouldn't trust me. I'm a loser. I'm a charlatan, which is a great word. I'm what's the other word? What's the other word for charlatan? Snake oil salesman? Nah, there's something better than that. Yeah, exactly. I'm awful. I'm the worst. I'm a criminal. But I'll still give you 2 weeks to come and check me out. See, that's what I don't get. My man right here, right? There's my man. I've been saying the same shit, not just for 5 years. I've been saying the same shit for 30 years. I've been doing chat rooms, since 07? Actually, I've been doing chat rooms since AOL. And it's still the same. Again, I used to get mad on it. I ain't mad at you. You should not trust anyone in this industry ever. And the funny thing is I could give you 100 trades in a row that work and still people won't trust me. They'll still be like, nah, I know it's been 18 months and he's given us mostly winners, but I don't know if I trust this guy. Something about his face. I just want to put my fist right in his suck hole. I get it. Now, if Kodak gets over 5, that'll be a lot better. Would you? Somebody buy 100 million shares right now. Go. Why am I even in this stock? Sucks. Anyway, but the day is what we say in hand. We did a few trades. There you go, Kodak. The day is in hand. We shorted the cues and we shorted CrowdStrike. And we made what is called a day's pay. And as a day trader, that's all you're trying to do. No one's getting rich. Can you get rich? Sure. Are you going to get rich as a day trader? No. You might. As a day trader, right, the more you get to know how to trade intraday, you can expand from there, which is what I do really, really well lately. I have become a pretty damn good swing trader lately because I'm taking the day trade that's working, and I'm parlaying it into the swing, like the Jumamas and the CCCs and the captains and the Pats and the Carvanas, obviously. I mean, can I get some credit for the Carvana YouTube? I mean, I gave you the stock. I had all the skeptics saying, you're a fucking loser. Carvana's not worth anything. This guy's a fucking hack, which is all true. But Carvana was the best setup I had seen in a decade. It was the Dolly Parton quad Kardashian bottom trade, which looked like the stock was ready to go to 96 bucks. And that was at $7.50. And look where it is now. Can I get an attaboy? Can I get one pat on the back for the Carvana trade? I mean, can I get a, hey, that was a pretty good trade. This guy might sort of know what he's doing. I'm talking to you, man. See, I am you. I am skeptical. I don't like most people in this industry because it is ripe with fraud and blatant manipulation. What would you like to see? See, there you go. A monkey could scream out tickers. Right. I agree. Right. And everyone's a genius in a bull market. But the idea, let's say I was your stockbroker, right? So I'm your stockbroker. Hey, Omega, I'm loving this Carvana. Yeah. I'm telling you, this thing's going probably to 58 bucks easy, maybe even to like 85, 90. I know I know it looks like they're going out of business. I'm telling you, buy yourself 1,000 shares at 750 and give it 2.5 points of risk. And we'll see where we are 6 months, right? Now I'm your broker. Do you now call your broker and say, hey, fuckhead, you know, I'm up 40 points. I'm up 40 grand on 1,000 shares of Carvana, but fuckhead, any monkey could do that. I mean, what are you in? I mean, are you still in the Carvana? You told me it was going to 96. Here it is at $80. But fuckhead, are you still in the stock? What'd you do with it? Who does that? Nobody. My job is to give good ideas, and they continue to work. But again, the reason I don't get into politics and the reason it's like you can't win a debate is because if you are set in believing that I'm a fraud, then no matter what, I could give you 1,000 trades in a row that work, but you'll say to yourself, well, he wasn't in it. Who cares? I'm worth $300 million and living off the interest right now. I'm doing this for fun. You should love me. You don't want me in your trades. You want me to stay focused and unbiased. But I enjoy the conversation as long as we don't get to the point where we're calling each other names and you're making fun of my mom. Which, again, my mom is easily made fun of. She's kind of weird. Got some psychotic ways about her. But why is it different for me? Is what I've always wondered, right? Why is it different for me? Like, I need to have skin in the game on every trade, which is impossible. You know how much I love Palantir, right? I don't even own the stock. I sell puts on it. You know how much I love the SOXL? I'm not in SOXL. I just sell puts on it and I collect premium. That's all I do. I can't be in every trade. I don't have that much money. But if I give you a stock like CCC and I say this thing's going to 12 bucks probably over the next couple of weeks, and then it goes to 12 bucks, I don't know what more to do. The day trades are working, the swing trades are working, the investments are working. If I was a broker, right, I would be heralded as I would have the picture, my picture would be on whatever that Modern Broker, I don't know if that magazine still exists anymore, but I'd be a champion. But in this arena, for some reason, I am still, again, not to everybody, but to a lot of people, I'm still some sort of snake oil salesman. And that's why I do what I do. I think it's fraud proof. Free. Free clears all that confusion up. I am never asking anybody for money until they're 100% convinced I'm going to help you. If you don't see the value in what we do or what I do and my crew does for you, then we just part as friends. We don't have to be enemies about it. It's not for everybody. I'm definitely not in every trade that I mentioned. I'm only in 20% of those trades that I mentioned. But I'm here to help. And this industry is built on help, and people get paid for the help. I'm just that's it. I mean, there's not many more ways to phrase it. But to the guy, and he's not even here right now, but of course these videos are going to be after the fact. Because generally I'm trading and then I make the video and I say, here's what we did, blah, 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 blah. You could have done this, you could have done that, and blah, 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 this is one we lost, man, we made on that one. And then we go on to the next day. That's it. I am still bewildered about how some of these other guys get hundreds and thousands and millions of viewers. And then I watch their shows and they absolutely have zero content and anything of value, but yet they do 50, 60 grand a month just making videos with, Susie Orman kind of advice. I don't get that. And here we are. And by the way, the last video I did, I even said on whatever stock tweets or Twitter, there's no reason to believe this trade actually happened. But here it is. When the Qs were selling off yesterday, I know this sounds ridiculous. That's why I love the fact that it happened live in front of people. I said the Qs will probably get to 433.68. I didn't make that number up in my head. 433.68 was a 20-day VWAP. And once we started breaking down through 5s and 10s, normally stocks will then crater to the next week's prior VWAP, and it held. And it bounced and turned into a monstrous trade. Am I in it? No. But I said it to people. I said, hey, you might want to look for the market to bounce at 433.70. And holy shit, it did. Am I in the trade? No. But that doesn't matter. You want to know something funny? I've shorted Carvana 6 times over the last couple of days. I've lost on it all 6 times. I thought there'd be a pullback. Did a put spread? Lost. Shorted the stock the other day? Lost. But the moral of the story is it's not me. I am just purveying this amazing wisdom of VWAP trading to as many people as I can. Because once you see it, you'll realize it's not about me. I'm like the priest of the VWAP religion. I'm the messenger. You don't kill the messenger. I'm showing people what I believe and was obviously proven to be the greatest trade there is. And again, it's taken me so long to realize. And again, this morning, I was legitimately afraid to short the market because the freaking market, it's virtually impossible to make money shorting lately, right? But then the setup happened. Oh, we actually are rolling over. Push button, right? Like I was afraid to short CrowdStrike because the stock, I've tried to short it in the past. I hate the industry, and I'm completely wrong. These stocks have turned out to be phenomenal. CrowdStrike, PanW, all that. I hate that industry. I hate most stocks. I'm a real bear, but I'm a bear trapped in a bull market. I'm not going to be stupid about it like I was 10 years ago and blew myself up. What was my point? Oh, my point was I was scared to short the Qs because usually, again, here's my philosophy. After a huge sell-off, if the market gaps up the next day, it's still susceptible to some residual selling. Wham! That's the idea. But at the same time, I'm thinking, man, you can't short this market. And then suddenly the Qs start to roll over and risk reward got in our favor. Hey, we could short the Qs now with only a 30-cent risk. And if it rolls over, we might make 2.5 points. Bang. There's the trade. And it worked. So somebody once said, oh, well, how come you can't give us the trades the night before? Because I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. I got to wait till the setup happens and then react to the setup. And I say, we're not really speculating. Speculating, we're more reactionary day traders. We're reacting to what we see. Speculation, you want some speculation? Jamma. Right? I gave you Jamma at 385. I get nothing. No pat on the back, no attaboy. Right? Guy pointed this chart out to me. I'm like, oh my freaking God, I'm in. As soon as somebody showed me that chart on Jamma, I immediately bought 3,000 shares. Sure. By $5, I'm only down to 400 shares, and then it went to $7 or $8, and I'm crying about it. But I had some $5 calls. We did pretty well. Could have done 30 times better, 100 times better. But you want some speculation in your life? JMIA. Right now. You're risking 2 points. This thing breaks back under 5, it's going to 0. But the way this thing looks and the way it keeps getting bought on dips, especially in this monstrous bull market that we're in, there is nothing not to like about this stock. All right, so stop right there, right? I own 1,000 shares of JMIA. Is that enough? See, that's the other thing that I used to get a kick out of. So some guys, they say, all right, we can't trust you because you don't got skin in the game. All right, cool. I'm actually in this stock right now. Oh, you only own 1,000 shares? You're a fucking idiot. There's no winning. There's no winning. So I'm in the name and I'm talking about it and the trade's working. I'm still a fucking loser, right? There's no winning. Oh, you should have had 10,000 shares. If you really liked it that much, you should have loaded up. There's always going to be a, you should have done this or you should have done that. There's no winning. So I just do what I do. Hopefully the majority of people enjoy. And hopefully the majority of trades work. And a big part of what I do is reminding you that when the trade doesn't work, get the out. That's why I'm still in Kodak. It's been an hour. It hasn't moved. It's in a 4-cent range. What am I doing here? I'm a loser with this name. But, again, and I appreciate every criticism, every concern, unless it's misguided or misinformed criticism, like this one guy out there, like Jimmy is the reason. Jimmy, if you're out there, it's been 5 years now, maybe more. Let me see when did Yext IPO? Let me see. Jimmy has been mad at me since the IPO of Yext, right? Let's tell the Jimmy story one more time. Yext IPO date. Let's see. Jimmy has been mad at me since April 13th of 2017. It's 7 years later. Jimmy's still pissed. But Jimmy fails to realize that we were in this trade together. You know, it was Yext IPO, if you guys remember the story. Broke 15. Woohoo. IPOs that break 15 generally go to 17.50. Come on, Jimmy. Me and Jimmy are buying it at 15, loving life. Jimmy, if it breaks 17.50, the thing's definitely going to 20. Oh, yeah, Kenny, shit, I'll buy more. Me too, Jimmy, let's go. Next thing you know, it's at 20. Me and Jimmy are high-fiving cyberspace high fives, selling the 17.50s to pay for the 20s. Holy shit, Jimmy, this stock might break 22.50. You know what I told Jimmy? Jimmy, I'm selling the 20s. I'm buying $30 calls on this fucker, Jimmy, because if it breaks 25, it could go to $50. Jimmy got real excited. I was excited too. I was in the name. I had skin in the game. And then Yex did something you didn't want to see. It broke at all-time high and then closed red that day. Immediately went and told Jimmy about it because I know Jimmy and I were loving this Yex trade. And I said to Jimmy, I'm out. I'm taking the $6,000 hit on the $30 calls and I'm dumping the stock. It just had to blow off top. This thing might be going to zero. And you know what Jimmy said to me? Nah, I'm going to hold the stock because you said it was going to 50. And I said, yeah, I know, Jimmy. I know what I said. I said, because when it was breaking 22.50 and 25, it looked like a collision course with 27.50. And if it got into the 30s, chances are it would have went to 50. But things have changed now, Jimmy. Things have changed drastically, Jimmy. Now, Jimmy took it upon himself to think, the guy said it's going to 50. I'm going to just hold it. But the same guy, me, right? Me, the guy who told him to get in at 17.50. And even though we took a hit on the $30 calls and, you know, blah, 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 it still was a positive trade. But Jimmy decided on his own to say, fuck me. The guy that got him into the trade is now telling him to get out. Really, the more important part of the trade is when to get out. But Jimmy said, nah, you said it's going to 50. I know, Jimmy. I know I said it's going to 50. But now the same guy who told you was going to 50 is now saying it's going to zero. Why don't you trust me now, Jimmy? And Jimmy told me to go fuck myself. Jimmy said, no, it's going to 50. He didn't give a shit. And then the stock went to $5. And still, to this day, 7 years later, Jimmy is pissed. I can't win. Even when I do the right thing, there's going to be people who are going to be upset about something. And Jimmy, if you're out there, I've had a few more winning trades since April 13th, 2017. Huh? Anybody? Anybody have a few winning trades with me over the last 7 years? Anybody? Anyone? I've had a few winners over the last 7 years to compensate for that Jimmy trade. But Jimmy has never forgave. That is misguided. Jimmy took a trade that didn't work and I begged him to get out. Jimmy, everything I know about trading is telling me to sell this stock, but you want to hold on to it? It's on you now, Jimmy, but Jimmy still blames me. There's no winning. There's no winning in what I do. And I've accepted that. So that's why skepticism, vitriol, hate, loathing, ridicule, means nothing to me now. All I care about right now is getting this fucking Kodak above $5. The fuck am I doing? Jimmy? You know who I care about right now? Right, her. That girl right there. Remember her? She's going to college. I got an 18-year-old daughter. I ain't worried about Jimmy or if anybody thinks I'm a charlatan. I'm wearing sweatpants that I've had since high school. I'm one of you. I'm just a schmuck on the internet trying to help people out. If you dig it, you dig it. If you don't, you don't. But don't hate me. Love me. And if you don't think I'm funny, that's okay too. Like one guy on this other website, man, he really hates me. What do you call me? An unfunny ass clown, which is pretty funny in itself. I haven't heard ass clown in a long time. You unfunny loser ass clown making videos out of his mom's basement, man. I haven't heard that one in a long time. By the way, this is not my mom's basement. It's my uncle's garage. All right? Get it right. All right? No wonder, and then he went on something about no wonder he went into trading because he obviously can't make it as a stand-up comic. I'm not going to argue. You know why I'm not famous? My head is very small. I wear a 6 7/8. You ever notice people who make it in show business have large heads? I have a very tiny head, which means I have a very tiny brain. My daughter, she got a nice big size. She had a big head. When my daughter was born, they said, look, we got to check out your daughter. She's got an unusually sized head. We're gonna check. Oh, we're like, what? Yeah, that was. She didn't hear right away, and she had a really large head. That was one of the worst moments of my life. I was like, great. And it all worked out. 18 years later. So we're down to Georgia. We finally crossed Clemson off the list. Georgia, Virginia Tech, FSU. Georgia, Virginia Tech. Oh, and Wisconsin. So if anybody has any opinions of those schools, let me know. I think I'm a Georgia fan at this point. I liked it. Virginia Tech was pretty cool. I don't want to go into Wisconsin because it's too cold. So that's where I'm at right now in my life. And there she is. Speak of the devil. Oh, $5 bid on Kodak, Jimmy. We're rich. And by the way, guy that says I sell for 12-cent profits, you ain't getting me out of this Jamma for at least 5 more points. I'm in. I'm strapped in. Jamma, you ain't getting me out. Risking 2 to make 7 to 20. What? Do you really think Jamma's going to $17? I do. Jimmy, if you're out there, you hear what I'm saying, Jimmy? I like the stock. JMIA. I think it's going to $13.75. Alexa likes it also. I just woke Alexa up for some reason. But if something changes over the next couple of weeks, I might not like Jamma as much as I do today. And you know who'll be the first to know? The chat room people. But right now, I promise you, I'm not getting out. Right now, JMIA, I'm not getting out of it. So I will make more than 12 cents on this trade, considering I'm already up 46 on the trade. I'm not selling. And obviously, if you don't even get the joke there, you want me to sell. Stocks go freaking nuts when I sell out of them. It's basically going to be on my epitaph. He sold too early. Alexa, shut up. You know what I learned over the last couple of days? If you whisper to Alexa, she whispers back to you. It's fucking crazy. If you say, Alexa, play some songs by Vampire Weekend, she says, okay, Kenny, here are some songs by Vampire Weekend. It's pretty creepy. Look at Jamma hitting new highs, Jimmy. Look at it. Not only are we buying Jamma, Jimmy, you know what we're doing with Jamma? We're in some calls. So, Jimmy, let me tell you exactly what I'm in. Jimmy, I like this stock so much, right? I went all the way to August. You see those $6 calls for August? That's me, Jimmy. You see the open interest in the contract? That's all me, Jimmy. So when I like something, I still don't really like to own stock because I could limit my risk. You know, if Jamma goes to zero and I own a $6 call at $1.25 or $1.50, how much can I lose, Jimmy? That's a Series 7 question. That's how you define your risk and reward. So that's why, thank you for mentioning Rambus. Same thing with Rambus. I freaking think Rambus is going to $250 in the next 2 to 3 years. But I can't really afford, well, I can because I'm worth $200 million. I don't really want to own 3,000 shares of a $60 stock and put 180 grand on the line because what if Rambus decides to go out of business for some reason? Not that I think it's going to happen. But when I like an idea and I like it longer term, hey, Kodak, I'll go out. And Jimmy, if you're out there, let me show you. I'll tell you what I'm buying on Rambus, and hopefully it works out. This is not it's not a riskless trade. This one's pretty pricey. I'm buying, and you know what? I'll buy one right now for you. Watch this. I'll buy another one right for you, right with you, Jimmy, because I like the price. I'm buying January 2025 $70 calls for $10. That's me on the bid. So if you'd like to sell me a contract, I'm willing to buy it at 10. They're 10 by 1040. That's me on the bid, Jimmy. Now, where's my MVIS friend? Now, I got a guy who's been watching my videos since 07. I know if you're out there, right? This guy apparently only trades one stock. Every time I make a video, he comments about MVIS. Remember MVIS? The guy just seems to know. And this is not my call, Jimmy. This is the MVIS guy's call. He emailed me 3 times this week to make sure I was buying MVIS when it got down to the low 2s. And lo and behold, the fucker's right again. I mean, it's only up 8.5% today, but the guy just seems to know this stock. And apparently it's the only stock he actually trades, which is weird. But he's all over it. Now, let's look at that Jamma, right? So now if you were sitting here with me in the room, you'd understand what was so special about Jamma today. Now, if you knew, it was a test of the breakout price from 3/1/24 at 10:15 a.m. at 641. Yesterday, it came back and held the 641, and we said, oh, I was short, so I covered. And I said, if it broke 641, I was thinking maybe this thing went all the way down to the 590, 585 from where it came. But it didn't. So today, when I saw it test the same goddamn price at 643, I said, oh, maybe I should buy this fucker back. And I didn't. But then I saw it going up and I said, hey, I better buy it soon. Oh, wait, now it's breaking VWAP. I better buy it. So now I'm back in at 672. And if you were in the room, Mr. Elite Trader, Skeptic, Hater of all music. By the way, this other guy I'm having a conversation with on another website, he said, anybody who's a fan of sports is a fascist. You lost me right there, friend. He said, anybody who's a fan of anything, I don't know. We went on to with all these explanations about fascism and stuff like that. I'm like, your life must be really miserable. He's like, if you're a fan of anything, fandom in itself is a form of fascism because you love somebody when they truly have no effect on your life or whatever it was. And I was like, man, I'm a fan of music to the point where I'm really fanatical about music. And I think it does actually help my life. I think music shapes your personality and the people you tend to hang with and your friends. And music is, kind of shapes a lot more. But according to him, I'm a fascist. So there's no winning with this guy, right? I could give him 1,000 winning trades. I'm still going to be a freaking loser. So anyway, but if you did come to the room today, you would see why we were buying Jamma at 673. And let's say you bought 2,000 shares. It's a $7 stock. You bought 2,000 shares at 673. Now the stock's at 725. That's 50 cents. 50 cents. That's why when I say you're not getting rich as a day trader, but is anybody upset about buying Jamma today at 675? Sold. 622 right now. $500. Sitting on your ass. And that's just one trade. I shorted the Qs 4 times. I got a shit ton of freaking Kodak doing nothing. And I got Jamma. That's the whole day. And if it pulls back, I'm buying more. And if it breaks 640, you know what I'm going to do, Jimmy? I'm going to sell the whole fucking thing. You heard me, Jimmy? If for some reason this stock that's paying us right now rolls over and breaks back under 7, I'm selling another 1,000 shares at 7. And if it breaks 683, I'm selling another 500 shares, and I'll be down to 500 shares. Sorry, I'm down to 500, 1,500 now. But if this fucker decides to roll over and die and break 640 without, but I thought you said you loved the stock. It was going to 17. Not anymore. Now it's going to $5. That's trading. And by the way, you should have conversations with yourself because it keeps you focused. I'm not trying to be funny there. You need to have the conversations with yourself. This is what I think is going to happen. This is what I'm going to do if it gets here. And this is what I'm going to do if it goes there. And that's it. That's all this is about. And that's what I do. I try to explain why you're getting in, what the best setups are, where you should be looking for it to go, why you're thinking it's going to go there based on price and VWAP. And we all live happily ever after. And 7 years from now, maybe Jimmy will come back to me. Jimmy! Come back to me, Jimmy! How about this, Jimmy? If you're out there, 2 free months of my website, which is an $800 value or $860 value for nothing. Just because I feel like I want to help you, Jimmy, even though you deserve nothing from me. Because you spat on my face. You slapped me across the face and called me a loser, even though I begged you to sell that dumb stock. And I'm still willing to help you. Jimmy, come back. You can make it all, don't you? I don't know. So I can't be without you. Jimmy, come back. I don't know. I was just buying it because it was moving. It was moving the other day. It sucks. I thought we'd get easily paid, $5 stock, maybe my 15 cents. Yeah, it fucking sucks. But it doesn't matter. Just one trade. You're not gonna. Nobody's flawless. Usually, my day usually consists of 3 out of 4 winning, and that's when I usually quit. Yeah. So, for instance, when Kodak breaks back on, and I'm counting this as a loss already. But my stops are still I'm still in it because my stop's 491. I'm willing to risk a dime. It just stinks. But right now, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat. How about 2 weeks, market movers? You're in. What's the password? What's the password? Well, tomorrow night, if I'm around, you should start showing up tomorrow night. I'll give you, if you sneak in on a Thursday night, you get 2 weeks and 2 days. You get Thursday, Friday, and the 2 weeks. That's my secret tip. I know people that work here. Email me, Kenny Glick at AOL. That's right. Kenny Glick at AOL. That's how old I am. All right. Just send me an email. I got to go eat. I'm starving. All right. I still got this awful Kodak, and I might just get out flat because I'm bored. But I've been in it since, I bought the top 498, 499, and 5. I'd like to make at least a nickel. And Jamma. That's what I got right now. And if you shorted Carvana, you lost again. So this time I didn't short it because it wasn't shortable, but I would have lost on Carvana. See? And also, I think I'm the only person that's ever lost money trading, according to Twitter. Do you ever go on Twitter or StockTwits? I'm thinking I'm the only one. There's like, what, 2.7 million people? No one's ever taken a loss on any trade. All they do is talk about how much money they're making. Every trade's a winner. I'm the only person that's ever lost money trading, according to the internet. All right, we're having a good time. We're having a good time. We're making a little money. That's kind of what life's all about, right? Maybe I'll even take a shower. Actually, I got to go. I got to go to a wake. So yeah, there's some life for you. I got to go to a wake tonight. A friend of mine, mom, passed away. So that's what I'll be doing tonight. And if you know anything about me, it's been 27 years I've been together with the same woman. The hell am I thinking? What year is this? Holy shit. I got an 18-year-old daughter. I don't even want to look at crowd. Where is it now? Ah, you bastard. See that, Jimmy? I fucked this whole trade up. Covering it. Shit. I got short at 350. I made a whopping 2 points on the trade. Look where it is now. Oh, my freaking God. I'm going to kill myself, Jimmy. Wait a second. See? No one's harder than myself on myself. I'm a loser now. Wow. Wow, the stock's down 30. It's down 28 more points since I